The Amish are able to grow incredibly large tomatoes, some as big as softballs, without using any synthetic chemicals. Instead, they rely on nature's rhythms and the knowledge passed down through hands-on work. Seed swapping is a big part of Amish culture too. After harvest, families exchange their best seeds and share what worked well. For example, someone with drought-resistant tomatoes might trade with another who grew disease-resistant ones. This strengthens both crop diversity and community ties. Thanks to Amish seed-saving efforts, heirloom vegetables have seen a revival even outside their communities. With the right seeds in hand, planting becomes the next critical step. For the Amish, the journey of a champion tomato begins the moment it touches the soil. Instead of the roar of machinery, planting day is marked by the quiet rhythm of hooves and the teamwork of family members. Their techniques have been honed over generations to give tomato plants the strongest possible start. Timing is essential. They don't label their practices organic. To them, it's just the right and respectful way to treat the land, reflecting their spiritual beliefs about caring for God's creation. Rather than following a calendar, Amish farmers watched nature for signs, like blooming wildflowers or bird behavior, that signal the soil is warm enough. Tomato seeds can sprout in soil as cool as 50 degrees, but they need at least 60 degrees to grow well. By waiting for the right moment, the Amish ensure faster growth and healthier plants. Amish farmers still plant by hand, kneeling to dig each hole and gently place the seed or young plant. This close contact with the soil allows for small adjustments, like avoiding rocks or compacted areas that machines would miss. They believe in the old saying, "The best fertilizer is the gardener's shadow," meaning that consistent hands-on care is key to success. Tomatoes are planted deep, sometimes laid in a trench, so only the top sticks out. This encourages the plant to grow more roots along its buried stem, giving it a stronger foundation and allowing it to absorb more nutrients and water, key for growing massive fruit. By mid-season, an Amish tomato plant often has double the root mass of a typical store-bought one. When planting, the Amish add simple, natural boosters into each hole. In many Amish communities, growing huge tomatoes is a source of pride. Crushed eggshells supply calcium to prevent blossom end rot. Bone meal provides phosphorus for strong roots, and wood ash adds potassium while slightly raising the pH. These homemade amendments give plants balanced nutrition, no chemical fertilizers needed. They also space their plants far apart, sometimes up to 4 feet, to let in more sunlight, improve air circulation, and give roots room to grow. Though this wide spacing means fewer plants per area, each one can grow much bigger tomatoes, often yielding more total fruit by weight than tightly packed plants. Companion planting is a key part of Amish gardening. They often plant basil between tomatoes. Its strong scent confuses pests. Marigolds are used around the edges, since their roots naturally repel soil pests like nematodes. Other plants, like nasturtiums, act as decoys by drawing away aphids. Some Amish gardeners also follow moon phases when planting. Although their methods result in plenty of produce overall, tomatoes stand out for their size and quality. Traditional wisdom says planting during a waxing moon helps with leaf and stem growth, while the waning moon supports root development. Whether or not science confirms this, many swear by the results. Their philosophy is simple: plant tomatoes deep, and tomatoes you'll reap. By focusing on timing, depth, space, and natural inputs, they give their plants the best start. No modern machines required. Once the plants are in the ground, the real relationship begins, especially when it comes to watering. Tomatoes are over 95% water, so getting the amount and timing right is crucial. Too little, and you get tiny, underdeveloped fruit. Too much, and you risk disease or splitting. Amish farmers are experts at this balance. They don't just consider how much water to give, but also how and when to apply it. It's one of the most common mistakes beginner gardeners make, but an area where the Amish truly shine. Rainwater collection is the backbone of Amish irrigation. Some heirloom varieties grown by the Amish consistently yield fruits over 2 pounds, with some reaching 4 pounds or more. Barrels placed under roof gutters store rain for dry periods. This water isn't just free, it's also free from chemicals like chlorine, that can harm soil microbes. Just 1 inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof can yield over 1,200 gallons of water. Multiply that by the 40 inches of annual rainfall many Amish areas receive, and they've got a reliable, sustainable water source. No pumps needed. Even without modern tech, they use efficient drip irrigation. Simple gravity-fed systems, like buckets with tiny holes, deliver water right to the plant's base. These methods can be up to 90% efficient, far better than sprinklers, which waste water through evaporation and runoff. Timing is everything when it comes to watering. Amish farmers start early in the morning, giving plants a chance to absorb moisture before the day heats up. This also helps leaves dry out quickly, lowering the risk of disease. These tomatoes aren't like the oversized but flavorless ones often seen at fairs. They're rich, meaty, and deeply appreciated for their taste as well as their impressive size. Watering in the evening can leave leaves wet overnight, perfect conditions for fungi. They follow the motto, "Water the ground, not the town," meaning water should go directly to the soil, not sprayed over the whole plant. Thick mulch layers reduce evaporation and cut watering needs by up to half. To decide when to water, they use the finger test. If the soil is dry 2 inches down, it's time to irrigate. Amish growers aim for steady moisture levels. Irregular watering, like alternating drought and flooding, can cause problems like fruit splitting or blossom end rot. Instead, they water consistently but lightly during hot spells, usually providing 1 to 2 inches of water per week, either through rain or irrigation. That keeps moisture available deep in the soil without drowning the roots. As the seasons shift, so do their watering habits. Early on, moderate watering encourages deep roots. The Amish farming tradition goes back to their European roots in the 1700s, when they were Anabaptist Christians escaping persecution. During peak growth, they increase water to support fruit. Near harvest, some reduce watering slightly to enhance tomato flavor. Foliar feeding, spraying diluted nutrients on leaves, can also help, giving the plants a quick boost. Drought years really test the Amish watering methods. Without access to city water, they focus on conservation. Techniques like creating shallow basins around plants or watering at night help stretch supplies. Their gardens are built to handle tough seasons, not just perfect ones. An old Amish saying goes, "The best fertilizer is water." No matter how rich the soil is, plants need moisture to absorb nutrients. With deep roots and healthy leaves, tomato plants thrive. The Amish way of growing isn't about shortcuts. It's about working with nature through patience and tradition. They brought agricultural expertise from countries like Switzerland, Germany, and the Netherlands when they settled in America. Their success reminds us that the best results often come from time-tested practices, not quick fixes. Over time, in places like Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, they adapted their old-world techniques to local conditions, all while holding onto their values of simplicity and independence. What makes Amish farming especially relevant today is its environmentally friendly nature. While modern farms rely on artificial fertilizers, the Amish stick to traditional, chemical-free farming. Long before anyone talked about carbon footprints, the Amish were already farming in low-impact ways. Their homes and farms often operate without electricity from the grid. They use very little fuel, and waste is minimal. Everything gets reused, manure, plant scraps, and more, creating a self-sustaining loop that keeps the soil healthy without outside help. Giant tomatoes serve multiple roles in Amish life. For one, they help feed their large families. A single massive tomato can go a long way in a meal. Surplus harvests are shared with neighbors or at community events. There's also a business side. These standout tomatoes attract buyers at farm stands and local markets. Some Amish farmers have become well known for their exceptional produce, drawing in repeat customers and even visitors from far away. This demand provides a steady income that supports their family-oriented lifestyle. You might wonder how Amish farmers compete with massive industrial operations when they don't even use electricity or engines. Their communities, which still use horse-drawn buggies and live simply, can grow fruits that weigh up to 4 pounds. The key is scale. Their farms are typically small, 25 to 100 acres, and family-run, which allows them to pay close attention to every detail. They can spot problems early and care for plants individually. The hard-working hands of Amish farmers reflect a deep knowledge of nature's cycles, something large-scale farms often miss. Their success isn't about rejecting technology for its own sake, it's about trusting time-honored wisdom that gets results without damaging the land. There's a certain irony in comparing Amish farming with modern agriculture. While scientists fine-tune nutrient formulas to decimal points, Amish growers are producing impressive harvests using old-fashioned methods. It's not about being stuck in the past, it's that these methods still work. The real secret to their tomato-growing success lies in their deep connection with the soil. Amish farmers often point to the ground when asked how they grow such amazing produce. This success doesn't come from high-tech equipment or engineered seeds, but from their deep, long-standing connection with the land. To them, soil isn't just dirt, it's alive and it's everything. To the Amish, soil is a living system, not just something to stand on. Their farming techniques have been shaped over centuries, passed down through direct experience rather than books. The results speak for themselves. Dark, rich soil filled with life like earthworms and microbes that naturally nourish their tomato plants around the clock. The only thing promoted by the creators of this content is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, that covers 126 nutrient-rich foods and preservation techniques from hard times like the Great Depression and wartime, knowledge that's hard to find elsewhere. They believe it's vital to pass this information to future generations before it disappears. Another book on herbal remedies by Nicole Allen is also available. Viewers watching on TV can find these books by visiting the Frugal Solutions channel on their phones or tablets and clicking the link in the channel or video descriptions. Crop rotation is a cornerstone of Amish soil care. Instead of planting tomatoes in the same place each year, they switch things up. Tomatoes one year, then corn, then grains, then hay, and eventually back to tomatoes. Their soil practices are rooted in generations of experience, built on a quiet, thoughtful relationship with nature. This rotation prevents soil exhaustion and keeps pests in check. Studies show that fields using Amish rotation methods can have up to 30% more organic matter than fields that are constantly planted with the same crop. This richer soil holds more water, supports healthier microbial life, and ultimately leads to bigger, better tomatoes. An older Amish gardener once compared good soil to good bread. You can't rush it, and everyone notices when you do. Compost is key to building fertile soil on Amish farms. They use manure from horses and cows as a base, but also add kitchen scraps, leaves, straw, and even shredded paper. The compost piles are carefully managed to get hot enough to kill weed seeds and harmful microbes while preserving the helpful ones. Their rule of thumb? If it still smells like manure, it's not ready. Only compost that smells like rich forest soil is used in the garden, ensuring safe, balanced nutrition for the plants. Amish farmers use age-old techniques that have barely changed over centuries. Amish tilling practices are quite different from modern methods. Instead of using heavy machines that churn up the earth, many Amish farmers prefer minimal tillage with horse-drawn tools. They gently loosen just the top few inches of soil, keeping the delicate underground structures intact, especially fungal networks and soil layers. This light touch helps preserve earthworms, which are vital to healthy soil. In fact, a well-managed Amish acre can contain up to 1 million worms, doing their part by aerating the soil and enriching it with their nutrient-packed castings. Mulching is another key part of Amish soil care. After planting tomatoes, they cover the ground with straw, hay, or shredded paper. This natural covering has many benefits. It keeps weeds down, retains moisture, regulates soil temperature, and breaks down over time to feed the soil. On hot days, mulched soil can stay 15 to 20 degrees cooler than bare ground, which is crucial for healthy tomato roots. Plus, mulch reduces how often they need to water, especially important since many Amish farms depend on rainwater instead of electric pumps. These communities, known for their avoidance of modern technology and commitment to simple living, have developed farming methods that are both sustainable and incredibly effective. Tomatoes thrive in slightly acidic soil, with Amish farmers aiming for a pH between 6.2 and 6.8. Instead of using commercial pH products, they rely on natural options: wood ash to raise the pH, or pine needles to lower it. These gentle, gradual changes help avoid shocking the plants. The beauty of their approach lies in how sustainable it is. Unlike modern farms that often need more chemicals just to maintain yield, Amish land tends to become more fertile over time. In fact, some farms have been used continuously for over 200 years without degrading, proof of the effectiveness of their soil-first philosophy. The wisdom behind Amish farming practices is becoming more important as the world looks for sustainable agriculture. One Amish farmer summed it up best: "We don't inherit soil from our ancestors, we borrow it from our grandchildren." Everything begins with healthy soil, but great tomatoes also depend on the right seeds. Even though seeds look tiny, they carry generations of genetic history and the potential for truly extraordinary plants. Amish farmers take seed selection very seriously, possibly more seriously than anything else in gardening. Their tomatoes are not only massive but full of flavor. You can improve your soil or watering, but you can't change a plant's genetics. That's why heirloom varieties are treasured in Amish communities. These seeds, chosen over many generations for flavor and size, have been grown for over 150 years in some cases. They've endured changing climates and conditions and are passed down like family heirlooms. To grow truly giant tomatoes, the Amish look for specific traits in their seeds. They prefer indeterminate varieties that keep growing and producing throughout the season. Favorites like Brandywine, German Johnson, and Mortgage Lifter are often used. Seed saving is a serious practice. The best tomatoes, those with ideal flavor, size, early ripening, or disease resistance, are reserved for seed collection each fall. This process, repeated year after year, gradually tunes the plants to the local environment. It's called mass selection, and studies show that even just a few generations can lead to seeds that are better suited to local soil, weather, and pests. Unlike industrial agriculture, the Amish don't depend on machines, chemicals, or genetic modification. While many gardeners buy new seeds every year, the Amish know that seeds adapted to local conditions are incredibly valuable. Over time, they've selected varieties that can handle the intense summers of the Midwest and Northeast. Their tomatoes can set fruit even in temperatures above 90 degrees, while many commercial types stop producing. Though tomatoes usually self-pollinate, bees and other insects sometimes cause cross-pollination. The Amish welcome these surprises. New crosses are carefully watched, and promising ones are. Despite the commercial seed market narrowing down options, a single Amish community might maintain dozens of distinct types, protecting biodiversity and offering insurance against bad seasons. The Amish don't follow non-GMO principles for marketing. They simply stick to traditional farming values that respect nature. They avoid lab-based genetic modification, choosing instead to rely on patience and observation. Their seed storage methods are old but effective. After cleaning and drying, seeds are stored in paper envelopes or cloth bags in cool, dry places. Some families have kept seeds viable for decades this way, with no refrigeration needed.